Brandon Cutler from AEW. You're watching Cole TV.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to Pro Wrestling 60. Live and in color tonight. That is right. We are live here on Cole TV, and we're going to recap and cover everything that happened in the world of professional wrestling this past week in 60 minutes.
That's
I'm
right.
XLJ, the OG. Let me give you a proper introduction, brother, okay?
That's right. Sorry. Excited.
It's okay. I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother from North Carolina. I just felt like saying that. Mr. B-Roll.
Well, it's very fitting with the week that we have had here in pro wrestling. It is very fitting. Like you said, we are live and in color tonight. If you're commenting and we're not like acknowledging your comments, it's not because we're rude. It's not because we're trying to ignore you. It's because this is PW60, and we're going to attempt to cover the entire world of professional wrestling of what happened the past week in 60 minutes or less.
And
the
as
clock
you
starts
always,
now.
Yeah, it's now. It's officially now. All right, let's get right into it. And our top story of the week, Blood and Guts, took place on AEW Dynamite from, I'm still going to call it the Boston Garden, even though I know it's not the Boston Garden, but still from Boston.
From Boston.
From Boston. Man, oh man, what a loaded show this freaking was this past Dynamite. This, in my opinion, B-roll, hot take. I'm just going to say this. I think this is the best Blood and Guts that's happened so far in AEW history, in my opinion.
You say
I don't
that
feel like you're not
you
feeling
say
it.
that because you know my opinion.
Yes.
No, I really like this match, but I don't know. I thought last year's was better. But
Well, wait a minute. Let's use what the exact words was. You thought it was more violent last year, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did have a bed of nails, so both of them were violent nonetheless. I get what you're saying, though.
This is true.
I think maybe because there wasn't a spot where somebody fell off the top or something, but I was all for this. I love the psychology in this, and there's some great storytelling. Moving on some different feuds, which we're going to talk about here shortly. Overall, like I say, I thought this Blood and Guts was great. So I loved it. I don't know if I'd go a Meltzer 5-star on it, but, and can I just say this? I loved the debut of the Golden Star himself, Kota Ibushi, how he just comes out. He's this badass. He's like literally just like fucking palming people in the face. And that's just like, boom, fatality.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, man.
Yep.
But,
pretty amazing, if I do.
and John
say
Moxley bled in this matchup?
No way.
But yeah, and ultimately the Elite did win this matchup. Now, Mr. B-Roll, you know what really surprised me was the end of this, the aftermath, because after Dynamite went off the air, the BCC and the Elite shook hands in the ring. Kind of didn't see that coming, but I think that's definitely is going to say, okay, put the stamp on, okay, this rivalry is officially over. Now it's going to be interesting. Where do we go from here, though, with these two factions?
Yeah, I mean, like I know, but like, how do we get there? I don't know.
No, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You know, I love you, buddy, but like, what are you thinking? Just go ahead and say what the world's thinking.
Well, we eventually have to get to the storyline that has dominated PW60 Airways. We eventually have to get to CM Punk versus the Elite. You eventually have to get there. And I don't necessarily care when it is.
Yeah.
But eventually you have to go there.
Yeah, it's really going to be fascinating to see where both these factions go from here. I feel like the BCC may about to be enter into a rivalry with the Death Triangle
Yeah.
because the bastard Pac did turn on the BCC in this matchup and walked out on him. And I got to call you Nostradamus, my friend, because you called it last week on the show here. You said, I feel like Pac's going to wrestle Claudio at Death Before Dishonor. And that is exactly what happened and was part of the double main event at Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor this past week. You know, like for a show that I don't want to say it's put together last minute, but I don't feel like there was a ton of advertising on this. I felt like they put together a pretty damn good pay-per-view. It was pretty solid. What do you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Even the 0 hour was.
Oh, 0 Hour was phenomenal. The pre-show was phenomenal. We were talking about some of the matches on there, like the tag match with the Workhorsemen and Action Andretti and Darius Martin, and then the women's matchup with Layla Hirsch. Man, both of those were awesome matches.
And sorry, you said Darius Martin, and it like peaked to like a brain nugget. I don't know if you heard them say on commentary. They said Dante is ahead of schedule.
Oh, I know that makes your day because Dante is your boy. But
He
let's
is
run
my
down. Oh yeah, go ahead, buddy.
he is my boy. I taught him everything he knows.
Well, this is kind of an ironic segue. Sorry, Dante. We do have, you know what I'm saying. Oh, damn you, Kyle Fletcher, you lucky bastard. Anyways, we have new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and can you say it with me? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Oi.
Aussie Open is your new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Super stoked about this. Like, how happy are you that Aussie Open is the new Ring of Honor Tag Champions? I think well deserved.
Soon as the match was announced, I said I think they're gonna win it, and
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, my friend. I thought, yep, this is theirs to win.
I don't know.
And
For
by God,
me, for some reason, it just didn't make sense that the Lucha Bros were holding it.
I
And like,
agree. Nothing against the Lucha Bros. I mean, I love Pentagon and Ray, but I agree. I just thought, like, yeah. So yeah, but Aussie Open is your new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. But that was the only title change on the night, as we got a lot
Yeah.
of champions retaining, and we'll talk about that in a minute because we got to talk about this one. How about the fight without honor between the Righteous and the Dark Order? This was like the best Dark Order I have seen in years, man. I loved every bit of this and the rivalry with Stu. And can I just say, I popped so hard when the Legos got brought out in this one,
Yep.
because you got to keep in mind that Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, the promotion that they worked for back in Canada, they were the ones that I believe kind of created the Legos brought into a death match, so to speak. But yeah, dude, this was a fun, bloody, just a war, man. Both teams are awesome, but just so happy to see the Dark Order finally being used in the right light. And I almost wonder, maybe do you think the Dark Order works better in Ring of Honor? Like maybe give them a push, maybe put the trios belts on them.
Yeah. So me and my paying attention to the detail, Stu was saying to them, "Be the Dark Order you used to be."
Yeah.
And so Stu eats the pin, and when they had him up, Stu was smiling.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Very astute observation, my friend. That's cool.
So
You
maybe
think Stu comes back?
maybe Uno and Stu are not done.
Oh, I would be so happy. Damn it, I still want Stu Grayson and Evil Uno to win the AEW tag team titles. They should have won them a while back. I think it's bullcrap that they never won them. But overall, dude, this match was awesome. I loved it.
Yes. There's something special about like a torn mask with like the blood too.
Oh yeah, just adds more to it. I totally agree. But we mentioned this. It was a night of champions, literally at Death Before Dishonor, as all of the champions retained pretty much. As Katsuri Shibata retained his pure title and a Fun
Mhm.
matchup against Daniel Garcia. Samoa Joe retained against Dalton Castle. Of course, Claudio retained his world title in a classic matchup with Pac. But I want to talk about this phenomenal performer down here, Athena, continuing her historic reign as Ring of Honor World Women's Champion, the longest reigning ROH Women's Champion. And I just have to say this, like, she is going so under the radar, it's not even funny. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping, like, this matchup, because it was the main event and it was rightfully so, and closed out the show of of Death Before Dishonor. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, as you could probably guess. Yes, it is our match of the week, the match between Willow Nightingale and Athena. In my opinion, I think this is the second best women's match in all of wrestling this year. The only thing I can think that's better than it is Charlotte and Maria from WrestleMania.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
this
I
match was everything I wanted it to be and more. Full
Yeah.
of thrills, surprises, kept me on the edge of the seat. I didn't know who was going to win. Like,
Yeah.
this match was awesome.
Yeah. It truly was. In my opinion, Athena, honestly, she is probably female wrestler of the year at this point. And that's just
Boy,
my
there's a lot of great ones, but you know what? It's hard to argue.
I mean, maybe not the most popular, but definitely the most dominant. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking about the year of mommy too, as well.
yeah, I know.
So, yeah,
That is the only like that is the only one where I'm like, well,
yeah. But dude, you're absolutely 110% right, my friend. So, but like, this matchup was just an all-time classic. Well, my friend, Mr. B-Roll, it is that time of the show. Let's go to our boy Husky Rhodes with a hot take.
Hey, what's up, guys? So Friday night we had Death Before Dishonor. It was a fantastic pay-per-view. I have one beef with it, and that is my hot take. I think that Darius Martin and Action Andretti and the Workhorsemen should have been on that main card. What do you guys think?
You know, he's not wrong. He's definitely not wrong. That was a hell of a matchup. We talked about that too. Workhorsemen, man, they are killing it. But speaking of killing it right now, you know how crazy is this? What an underdog story here from a man who was a hardened criminal, who did hard time, had an abusive father all of his life, never was unnoticed, was never noticed, never got enough attention from his family, and now, just with the right people in his life, he is now can call himself a champion. Yes, Dominic Mysterio is your new NXT North American champion, and he's a champion we can all be proud of. B-Roll, what do you make of your new NXT North American champion?
sorry. The only thing I can literally think of that has come out between Judgment Day and Dominic and Rhea recently is that video of where she's answering the questions. What's your favorite thing to do with Dominic Mysterio? I think you already know.
Yes.
And then it bleeps it out.
You know,
Classic.
what's crazy about this B-Roll is how I feel like people, like, after WrestleMania was pretty much just like, I think I'm done with the Judgment Day. Dude, the Judgment Day has been the hottest faction since WrestleMania. And say what you will about the Bloodline. I mean, we all know, you know, it's splintered off and we're going through that. But here's facts, folks. The Judgment Day was in the main event of Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Friday Night SmackDown. I mean, they are all over WWE television. Yeah. They're dominating right now.
Why were they over on SmackDown though? That's the one that kind of threw me a little bit. I was like, why were you there?
You know why? Because they're the Judgment Day.
Because of the Judgment Day, and they run the WWE.
Yeah. But yes, I think a lot of people, including myself, was a little surprised. But once again, we got to call you Nostradamus. You called it last week. You said, I think Dominic's going to win this title. And by golly, you were right, sir. So you just need to go out and, like, will you pick out my lottery numbers this week, dude? No? Maybe. Let's talk about the rest of NXT, though, because it was a loaded show. Ilya Dragunov, your new favorite wrestler, confronted Carmelo before their matchup at the Great American Bash. We also saw Tony D'Angelo return. How funny was it, the confrontation between Tony D'Angelo and Dominic, too? where it was like talking from like
SmackDown?
one criminal to the other. No, I'm talking about on NXT.
Was it on NXT?
Yeah, it was on NXT. Yeah. Yeah.
They acknowledged each other on SmackDown too, because SmackDown was in Orlando, so there was like NXT people all over the place.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm getting them flip flopped. I could have swore that was on NXT.
No, you're probably right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so glad they did a brand split.
Me too.
Yeah. Let's call a spade a spade. And also, we got to see my girl Thea Hale take on Electric Lopez as she's getting ready for her big submission matchup coming up here at the NXT Great American Bash. So I'm calling it now, man. I think the Great American Bash is going to be a night of champions, new champions, because you're going to have a new NXT champion in Ilya Dragunov. Thea Hale's bringing that damn NXT Women's Championship back to chase you.
Hold on. No, Nostradamus is getting something.
Okay.
Okay. You are going to have a gang warfare faction feud. It is going to be Judgment Day versus Hurt Business 2.0.
Oh man, you're on that Hurt Business, but dude, it is starting to look like Hurt Business is coming back because there was Bobby Lashley kind of recruiting. They're talking to the Street Profits on SmackDown, and also him talking to Carmelo. So I don't know, man. We shall see. But we also have some new women's tag team champions as Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green are your new women's tag team champions. And man, what a story these two have. Like both being on Tough Enough that one year and being eliminated. And like here we are 8 years later, man. And now they're the tag team champions, especially Chelsea too, man. She's busted her ass and deserved this moment. And of course, you can kind of see where we're going with this. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville are our wrestlers of the week. As much as I love, Liv and Raquel, I am so stoked that Chelsea and Sonya are your tag champs. I hope they have a long reign. Were you stoked to see them win the tag titles?
Yeah, I honestly, I think they got put together, and I don't think it was expected to work. And then, I mean, it worked. It worked.
Yeah, it really did. I wholeheartedly agree with that, and I think the reason it worked mainly because of Chelsea, but Sonya, it just blows my mind because I always think of Sonya with her tag team partner. I'm always going to think of Mandy Rose, but man, her and Chelsea are killing it right now. So, well, let's talk about the rest of Monday Night Raw, and how about the moment where Brock Lesnar was just beating the living hell out of Cody in front of his mother? Like that kind of awkward, like, okay. And of course, we did mention the tag titles did change hands, and it looks like Raquel is on a collision course with Mommy. As looks like she will be challenging, presumably maybe SummerSlam against Rhea Ripley, which that's going to be great. How about the Finn Balor interrupting Seth Rollins like promo, and then like obviously, and it was announced, we found out that they will be meeting in a rematch at SummerSlam.
I want to know what you think about that, because I have said that this was going to happen.
I honestly did not think it's going to happen, but I do think they realized what they have with Judgment Day. I don't know. Let me put it to you this way. I think Seth will retain, but I'm not going to be shocked, man, if Finn Balor wins that thing come SummerSlam. But time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. And then I guess we also have to talk about this too. The Viking Rules match between Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders. God damn it! Can we just do something better with the Viking Raiders? They deserve so much more.
I almost made this TikTok, and I never did. And it's too late now. But like it was like going to be like Triple H being like, "Okay, Vince, you can book one match.
Oh,
you can book one match."
And that's the match.
That was the result.
I can understand.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Brother, you're not, my friend. Let's talk about Friday Night SmackDown. And we got to see, it was announced the rules of engagement that Tribal Combat, the match is official for SummerSlam, your main event. We'll see Roman Reigns defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso. Man, like, this is going to be epic on so many levels. How pumped are you for the SummerSlam main event?
A lot of people think Jay should be the one.
It could happen. And we also got to see, we mentioned Dominic was in action going up against Butch.
It's not his name.
I know. I hate fucking saying that. Pete Dunne, damn it. Did you notice
for some reason, I thought when Shawn Michaels was talking,
yes,
he hesitated.
He almost called him Pete Dunne. He almost did. And it's like, damn it, that's his name.
Just do it.
Just fucking do it, man. Also, we got to see some more with the U.S. title. And apparently, we got to see some more continued hatred for L.A. Knight. Just like, what the fuck, man? Actually, reality of it is we just have to wait on this. I mean, I think this is all happening for a purpose. They're still making you want, that big push more and more, and I think it's going to happen. But speaking of L.A. Knight, let's go to our Tribal Queen for her Tribal Queen tidbit of the week. Let's go to Brie.
Hello, everybody. It is your Tribal Queen, Brie, with your Tribal Queen tidbit of the week. And just got out of the gym, feeling good. Less than 2 weeks until SummerSlam. And I might have said this before, but your girl, the Tribal Queen, will be in attendance there. So I'm very excited. My one tidbit I want to say is, Paul, Triple H, why are you screwing over LA Knight? It should be LA Knight versus Austin Theory at SummerSlam, and LA Knight takes the belt off of him. As much as I like Austin Theory, come on. Why do you keep dropping the ball on somebody who is well over with the crowd? And you guys should know that if you're back there and you can hear him, everybody. Okay, that was your Tribal Queen tidbit of the week.
Well, there you have it. And as we found out, we officially are on that road for SummerSlam, and we do know of 4 matches that have been signed for the biggest show of the summer. Of course, we mentioned that the Tribal Combat between Jay and Roman. We do know Cody will be going one-on-one against Brock Lesnar.
And don't forget on that one, weeks ago, there's supposed to be a stipulation.
I was going to say, we still don't know what the stipulation, if there's going to be a stipulation. We mentioned it earlier, the rematch for the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. And we are going to get the 3-way for the women's, what are we calling the SmackDown one now? I'm sorry.
Undisputed.
The Undisputed Women's title, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. This shit's so confusing to me. Anyways, Asuka set to defend against Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair, which should be a great matchup as well.
I'm just saying, too, these graphics are sexy. Kudos to the WWE graphics person, because these are straight up sexy.
Yeah, I have to admit, that they are indeed, my friend. But, we're going to get plenty more matches here to announce in the weeks to come for SummerSlam, as it is just literally around the corner. I think, we're 2 weeks away, I want to say?
It's next week.
Is it? Yeah. Wow. Damn. So it's gonna be here before you know it. So.
Yeah, it's not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun, especially in the world of professional wrestling. And speaking of new champions, we also found this week on Dynamite that we got a new FTW champion. And his name is Jack Perry. First and foremost, what are the thoughts on the new entrance music?
It's Jungle Man.
I'm not a fan. It needs something different. I mean, I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Beethoven, but I don't know. It needs something different. It needs. I don't know. It needs something added to it because it's just. I don't know. I'm not feeling it so far, but I am feeling like the Jack Perry heel. He's going to build over time. Trust me. And I think I love Hook, but I mean the right decision was made. I feel like for Jack Perry to be the one to defeat him and continue on that rivalry, which I would assume. But, dude, that Boston crowd was hot for this matchup, man. And they were hot for all of Dynamite, which Dynamite, even though it was primarily blood and guts, still had a significant amount of stuff happening on it. You also saw Britt Baker was in action, but let's talk
Talk about it.
the finals of the Eliminator tournament with MJF.
Got
and
2
Adam
words
Cole.
for you.
What's those?
Double clothesline.
Oh my god, that crowd popped so fucking huge for that. And then what about the moment there at the end of where they were celebrating? And Adam Cole, you see it there, had the belt, and MJF got super pissed off, but then he came back around. Damn it, I don't want this to end, dude. I mean, we all know ultimately what's going to happen here, but damn it, I don't want this partnership to end. I think this was something they just started off was like going to be a feud and stuff. I really don't think they anticipated that this would take off like it has. Because I mean, this is like the best thing going on AEW right now, by far, in my opinion. And then how about the entrance? Oh my god, with the gear and then the music and MJF's reaction, that was fucking priceless. It was like, it was so chef's kiss.
Like
But
I genuinely feel like that they are having the time of their life. Like,
yeah, you can tell they're having fun with this. Yeah, you definitely can. But also, Mr. B-Roll, we got to talk about that epic dance-off. But did you know why it was so successful, my friend? Well, they had a little help. And it just so happens to be we got the inside scoop because our good, close personal friend, the best Gout Machine, was the choreographer for the dance-off. So why don't you take a look at this?
I've been assigned the task of making sweet, sweet magic with 4 magical men in the ring tonight. No, I'm not wrestling. We're dancing. Now, remember, gentlemen, this is the practice session. Sure, there's 10,000 people behind me, but just pretend they're not there, and then we're going to perfect this later. Daniel, you, sir, are just giving us the work, sir. This is all that and a bag of chips dumped in a pile of chocolate. MJF, you could learn something from Daniel, all right? Daniel, you are giving me my money's worth, but Sammy, isn't your last name Guevara? I expected you to have better rhythm than this. My grandmother has better rhythm than you, and she's dead. Magnificent finale. This must be what it's going to be like when your baby pops out of Tamello. Oh my god, I'm going to have to call Maxwell Oppenheimer after this, because this was the bomb. I am so sorry for that joke. Adam, okay, please stop it, Adam. Even Bryce Remsner wants you to stop, because you are too good at this, sir. Oh my god, are those the moves you use to pulverize Britt Baker? You pulverized Britt Baker with those moves? Shame on you, sir. God, you're too good at this. You want to go see Barbie? Okay, it appears that was not the rehearsal, but the actual performance itself, and it was 100% improvised. Well done, gentlemen. We left everyone in Boston, Massachusetts pregnant, which is shocking, because I thought everyone in Boston, Massachusetts was already pregnant. So, I personally, I just feel like my one qualm was the song you chose. Personally, I would have preferred something from Shania Twain. Shania Twain? Shania Twain. Shania Twain? Shania Twain. Shania Twain.
Oh, that best Gout, you've done it again.
You know, here's what I want to know. He's getting all these jobs for AEW, and he can't hook a brother up? Like,
yeah, this is true, man. You're not wrong there, my friend. Well, hey, let's talk about what happened Saturday night on Collision, because going into this show, there was only a couple matches announced, but man, oh man, we ended up getting a pretty fun main event. Kicked off the show with the Ricky Starks segment. By the way, Ricky Starks absolutely killing it, both like professionally and also with his
pyro budget.
Pyro, that was insane, dude. The word I could not get out there was drip. His clothes were on point, but yeah, everything about Ricky Starks is just like screaming money, money, money.
Speaking of pyro, though, can I tell you something I learned this week?
Sure.
if you like tap the like hit buttons like while you're doing your entrance in AEW Fight Forever, it does more pyro.
Really? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, at least in the Road to Elite mode, I noticed that. So yeah, go kick up your copy of AEW Fight Forever today.
Available now at all major retailers. But yes, we ended up getting though a tag team main event with CM Punk teaming with Darby Allin to go up against Ricky Starks and Christian Cage. Very interesting main event. Great tag match too as well. And Ricky once again stealing and getting the win, man. I am loving everything that's going on with Absolute Ricky Starks, man. He is looking damn fine over on Collision. But Collision had some great moments, some great matches on there. Like you had a great matchup with the Bullet Club Gold, coming off their incredible match last week, going up against Action Andretti and your boy, or part of your boys, one Darius Martin. Also, we had the Sky Blue was in action against Taya Valkyrie. But let's talk about the Trios Championship, which is on the line between the House of Black and the Acclaimed, along with Daddy Ass. And we got to talk about that moment. Billy Gunn leaving his boots in the middle of the ring. This is the tradition to where pretty much you hang it up. Have we seen the last in-ring appearance of Billy Gunn?
To me, I think it's got to be a work. Because from what I've seen, like his sons have taken to social media to like they're burying the hatchet to like congratulate him.
Kind of acknowledge and yeah.
Buddy Matthews took to social media. I don't think we've heard like anything out of like the Acclaimed or like Billy himself though.
No, not yet. No, we have not. So we may hear something on Dynamite. Who knows? But man, if this was the end though, what a way to go out though. Like, I mean, Billy Gunn just continues always like reinventing himself. He looks in the best shape he's ever been in his life, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And the fact that like he could go out like on his own terms and with this super hot angle, like if this is it for him, man, Billy Gunn, kudos to you, sir, because you have had a phenomenal career. But I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see on this one.
Yeah.
Personally, like from me being kind of like I guess you could say greedy, I'm hoping we have not seen the last of Daddy Ass in the ring.
Yep. We need some Daddy Ass.
Everybody needs Daddy Ass. Well, this week on Rampage, we got to see the return of the Royal Rampage match, the 2-ring battle royal. And hey, Darby Allin was able to pull it out this year as he defeated and eliminated Strickland in the end to end up winning this matchup and thus book his ticket to All Out. And he will challenge for the TNT Championship, which we're going to assume is still being held by Luchasaurus or Christian Cage at the time.
So here's my prediction. I think how it's setting up. I think we're going to get an instance of like finger poke of doom. I think there's going to be a match between Christian and Luchasaurus, and Christian's going to beat Luchasaurus for the title officially, and it will be Christian versus Darby at All Out.
That's an interesting take. You never know; it could happen. So. But we do officially have our first All Out match set up, which I'm a little surprised it's that, but you know, interesting.
And are you surprised that this is booked for All Out and not All In? Yes and no.
Not really. I don't know. Like I could see it. I feel like let's put it this way. What's the name of that title? It's the TNT title.
TNT. It's a
mid-card
title.
Like it should be defended on the TNT show, right? I mean, I don't think they've come out and said it officially, but it does seem like that's where the title change took place between Luchasaurus and Wardlow on the first Collision. So maybe that's why. Because I guess what I'm getting at around here, because I still, my opinion, I feel like All Out is Collision's crew, and I do feel like All In is going to be primarily Dynamite's crew.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see on that too. But also, you had Chris Statlander defending her TBS title against Marina Shafir, as well as you had a trios matchup with QTV going up against the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. But yeah, Rampage. Was cool to see the Royal Rampage get brought back. Well, B-roll, you look like you're sweating over there. Are you sweating? You're a little hot. Are you ready for a little spicy take? Let's go to Spicy Guac with
Got
the
some
spicy
water.
take. Yeah.
What is up? It's your boy, letting you know that if you hate all of this comedic wrestling, that you think AEW is just bashing the professional wrestling landscape and oversaturating with all these dance moves, blame Chikara. Chikara did it. They closed for a good reason, because they were ruining wrestling. Don't look into it. It's because they were ruining wrestling.
There you have it. The man ain't wrong. Well, Mr. B-roll, the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling, it is the hottest time of the summer for them because the G1 Climax is raging on right now over in Japan, and we have already went through 6 nights of action so far in the A, B, C, and D block. And
Let-
it's been a pretty interesting G1 so
Yeah.
far, man.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite block to watch?
A block.
A block.
Notice I didn't hesitate.
Yeah.
It's A block.
I was going to highly question you if you didn't say A block.
Yeah, I just love the concept of the new up and comers in that block, and then all of them trying to challenging Sonata, and I feel like Sonata defending against these guys too. I think there's been some questionable okay, Sonata is the IW, not no disrespect to Sonata. It's just been the title defenses so far, just I don't know, you look back at Forbidden Door against Jungle Boy, but I feel like this block, and I'm assuming if he does end up winning this block, man, it's really going to establish him even more as a respectable and dominant IWGP champion. But A-Block's been killing it. I love the matchup with Shoto Umino against Ren Narita. I thought that was phenomenal. Shoto Yuma going up against Kaida Kiramura was phenomenal. This has been an interesting block because you have the Three Musketeers with Shoto Umino, Ren Narita, and also I always fuck his name up. I know Yota Tsuji.
Mm-hmm.
And then the of course the IWGP champion in here was Sonata and Kaito Kiyomoa from Noah in here. But you know who the fucking wild card of this one is, man? Gabe Kidd. This guy is just fucking nuts, and I love it, man.
Emphasis on the wild.
Yeah, he is just crazy, but A block for me is what's been killing it. I've enjoyed B and I've enjoyed C as well. And D too, to a certain respect as well. It's all been great, but to me, it's A block has been the most fascinating to watch.
Mhm.
Also, dude, we want to talk about some matches. Been some great ones in this so far, but I gotta highlight Kenta against Will Ospreay. Holy shit!
Oh,
Those guys are just beating the hell out of each other.
yeah.
I think that's definitely been the most physical match so far in the G1 I've seen. It's just God, Will, how the fuck is he doing this, man? Because he is just killing himself on a night basis, man. But well, let's run down your rankings so far. Now, granted, we are only technically really 3 matches into this, or 6 nights in. So there is still plenty of time to come back and win this thing, because all you need to really do is finish at double-digit points, and we've got at least, I think, 5 more rounds, I want to say, if not more than that. But in the A block, Sonata is leading, as he is the only well, let me rephrase that. Sonata is leading because he is undefeated with a 3-0 record, so he has 6 points. But chasing his coattails, this is interesting. The Noah representative, Kaito Kiyomoa, he is 2-0-1, as he did end up having wrestling in a time limit draw, which I think that's been interesting about this tournament so far too. Has been the time limits had changed on it, and I think it makes it more fascinating because
Yes.
before it was like a 30-minute, now it's a 20-minute time limit. But
Yes.
Kaito Kiyomiya is number 2 in this block. This is gonna surprise you. You know who's number 3 right now?
Chase Owens.
Chase Owens is number 3 with 4 points at 2-1.
Yeah, I was
followed by
I was
Gabe-
looking at him and trying to get his name on my tongue.
Yeah. Followed by Gabe Kidd, who's 2-1 with 4 points. Ren Narita is at 5, as he is 0-1-2, so he just has that draw. Same with Shota Umino. And then you have Yoti Tsuji, who is 0-2-1, as he wrestled a draw as well. And then you got the big man Hikuleo at the bottom here, has not yet won. But like I say, folks, there's plenty more to go here in the G1, plenty of time. Now let's go to the B block, where your leader is, no surprise here, one Kazuchika Okada, who is still undefeated at this point, who is 3-0 with 6 points. Number 2, though, this is going to be interesting when these two guys meet, because I wouldn't be shocked if he pulls out the win. Taichi at 2-1 with 4 points, and then following him is Yoshihashi at 2-1 with 4 points. Then you have William Ospreay, Tangaloa at number 5, who has 2 points. Kenta at 6 with 2 points. Great Khan at 7 with 2 points. And then ELP has yet to pick up a win, unfortunately, but I'm sure he's due. You just got to do some nipple twist, that's all, and he'll get back in. Now, over on the C block, a lot of people are saying this man's the favorite, and he had a pretty epic matchup with Evil this past week. David Finlay, your leader of the Bullet Club, is undefeated as 3-0, and he sets the top of C block with 6 points. Following him is Evil at 2-1 with 4 points. Then following by our favorite, Eddie Kingston at 2-1 with 4 points. Then you have Tama Tonga, followed by Mikey Nichols from the Mighty No Fall. Nare at number 6 with 2 points. Shingo Takagi at 7 with only 2 points. And Tomohiro Ishii has yet to pick up a win in the G1. And finally, rounding out the D block, we have got a two-way tie for first place. Zack Sabre Jr. undefeated at 3-0, followed by Jeff Cobb. Then you have Hiroki Goto, the veteran of the G1, at number 3. And then Tetsu Naito is right after him. Then Shane Haste, Hiroshi Tanahashi. And then you have Toru Yano and Alex Coughlin on the bottom, which I think it's a fucking shame Alex Coughlin has yet to win a match in this G1, but I'm just saying. But that's what we got cooking so far in the G1 Climax. But Mr. B-Roll, let's talk about what happened on Impact Wrestling this past week. As Impact was a fun show, especially coming off of the heels of Slammiversary. So you got to see Jake Something in action going up against Kevin Knight. We also got to see Courtney Rush go up against Savannah Evans. Dirty Dango went up against Santino. And how about that tag title match with Subculture going up against ABC, man? So good. It was a loaded show, man.
And most importantly, we got a status update from Josh Alexander.
Agreed and agreed. So, yep. But also, let's talk about MLW Fusion. What happened there this week? As the Opera Cup has kicked off on MLW.
Wait, I thought it was the Oprah Cup.
I'm pretty sure it's the Opera.
It's
Cup.
Opera.
I think you're ribbing me. I had to think there for a minute. I was like,
Alex Kane called it the Oprah Cup.
Oh, that's right. I knew I had heard that term somewhere, and I could not think. But you had how about this matchup, man? To kick it off, Davey Boy Smith Jr. going up against Calvin Tankman, dude.
From Indianapolis,
That's right.
Indiana.
And Billy Starks was in action as well. So, well, also, we forgot to mention this. We're talking tournaments in Japan. Also, the Stardom's 5-star Grand Prix has just kicked off as well. And as you know, our good friend Light Skin Gaijin has been keeping us up to date on or at least on the history of the past. Later this week on Cole TV, Part 2 will be dropping. Give you a little sneak peek of that right now.
With the future of Stardom looking brighter than it ever has, the company looks to make its most important tournament the most hyper-competitive, high-drama tournament to date. Today we dive right back into the vault as we take a look at the 2019 and 2020 5-star Grand Prix. I am the light-skinned Gaijin Denard Ramon, and this is Learning the Ropes, the 5-star Grand Prix.
Well, there you go. The sneak peek.
Oh,
Catch that later this week.
that gets me excited.
I know, right? And hey, GCW tore it up this past week too, as they were over in Japan for several different shows. I got to check them out, dude, and they were awesome. Yeah, I am so stoked to see GCW. And also, it was announced too that they are going to be going to Australia later this year as well. So that is going to be exciting to see GCW going. They're just all over the place, man, and I love it. I'm so happy to see that. It looks like we lost Mr. B-roll there for a minute, but that's okay. Because up next, we want to highlight one of our good close personal friends to the show here. Speaking of awesome things happening. Oh, there he is. He's back. Our good friend who does all of our Bullet Club reports, Sienna, had a pretty busy weekend this past weekend for South Bay Wrestling. She actually made her ring announcing debut. Mr. B-roll, check this out.
What it do, SCW crew? And without further ado, it's time to introduce to you our official ring announcer for Slam Heat, social media superstar, TikTok titan, and most importantly, SCW's very own SC, Sienna Chanel. The mic is yours.
Thank you so much. What up, SCW crew? This is your girl, Sienna Chanel, or SC for short. I'm your official ring announcer for tonight's SCW Presents Slam Heat. So y'all better be here because it's almost going to be a sold-out show, y'all, and you know what to expect, right?
We don't know what to expect, but I have a question for you. It is hot in Santa Clara. It's more hot in between those ropes. But the heat is about who's going to walk through those forbidden doors. Any thoughts?
Ooh, well, there's a lot of names we could come up with, but I don't know who's going to show up. Do you?
Look, there's a lot of reasons someone wants to maintain their anonymity, but you know what? Some of them are creepy. I'm a little scared. You know, I'm a podcast journalist. I want to get to the bottom of this, but I'm a little bit afraid. I don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen here tonight at Slam Heat.
Oh, indeed. You know, you never know what to expect in life, of course, so who knows? But I suggest y'all better show up here. It's going to be almost a sold-out show, and we'll find out who will show up at the Forbidden Door.
Get your tickets. Bell rings, 6 p.m.
Main event, set for one fall. And it's for the SCW Women's Champion. Your official for this contest, referee Sparky Ballard. Introducing first, the challenger from Phoenix, Arizona. She is the center of attention, Brittany Ross. And her opponent, she's from San Jose, California. She is the current SCW Women's Champion, the Email Queen, Brooke Hadley.
Yes, Sienna was killing it. We're so happy and proud of her, man. She did
She's
an
a
awesome
natural.
job.
She's a natural.
Dude, she killed it. Like, it was awesome, like, for just watching the highlights and stuff. But let's talk about this one too. Your Deathmatch King had a successful journey over to Japan, as he has now added more gold, as he's now the DDT champion. But the real story here, what's that belt around his waist there, B-roll? Is that what I think it is?
He is one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team
That just
Champion.
blows my fucking mind on so many levels. It's so that's Matt Cardona, man. You gotta love him.
Now, apparently, Chelsea did take to social media saying that it was a replica
I thought I
and
was
that
pretty
people
much.
needed to stop freaking out.
But still, though, the fact that he did it's just fucking beautiful, man. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. It's still in my mind, it's going to be the real thing, damn it. So, but Matt Cardona just killing it once again. He is the indie god for a reason. Now, we also found out this week that Ray Phoenix is leaving AAA and thus vacating his championships that he had with AAA. Not quite sure exactly. I don't know if it's a scheduling conflict for him or it's just like I don't think it's anything on AEW's part, but nonetheless.
I read a little bit on it. It was mostly a personal decision for him because he felt like he couldn't be there to defend the belts
Oh, okay.
as
That makes
frequently
sense.
as he would have wanted. Like the schedule, it was just getting too much for him, is what he was
Okay.
saying.
That makes sense.
But he has plans to, like he didn't leave on bad terms. From what I read.
Oh yeah, I could totally see that. How about this? Look at this stud. Another one from the bloodline. Sila Fatu, the son of the late great Umaga, made his in-ring wrestling debut, and this guy looked like $1,000,000, man. Like holy crap! And as awesome as he looks, I don't know the name of the young man that was a competitor against him, but by God, that guy did a hell of a job making Sila Fatu look like a badass because this was quite the sight to see. But it's gonna be interesting to see what he does from here. Also, how about this? John Moxley last weekend actually won a gold medal in a men's grappling tournament in Cincinnati, Ohio. And there you see his little daughter holding his gold medal. But congratulations, and that's awesome that he was able to do that. Not shocking considering he is a member of the BCC. And oh dear God, this. Can Ryback just fucking go away? If we did not have a Ryback story the rest of the year on this show, I would be so happy. But yes, apparently Ryback, in his infinite wisdom, has called out Booker T, and damn it, Booker, why he has accepted a fight. Not really. I don't think this is really going to happen, but just like stupid, random bizarreness. I don't know what to make of it, B-roll, but
I don't know. It could be quite entertaining if we got some like King Booker, like with the mic, like talking about like kicking Ryback's butt while he's kicking Ryback's butt.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Well, are you ready, Mr. B-roll? It's that time of the show. Let's go to Jay with the dirt sheet.
Yeah, I don't think The Undertaker showing up at SummerSlam is really something that people haven't heard. Hey, it's your boy Jay, bona fide member of the Dirt Sheet Press, and here are some stories you may have missed this past week within professional wrestling. And we'll start with WWE and LA Knight. After not winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, Triple H came out and said good things come to those who wait after he was asked about LA Knight. Everyone expected LA Knight to get a big match at SummerSlam, but by losing in the United States title, win a match to win another match to get a title shot tournament, and losing, we are now in big doubt if LA Knight will even have a match at SummerSlam. Those backstage within WWE believe that LA Knight won't be receiving a push until after SummerSlam. What that means, who knows, because that could mean he's not getting a push until Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, or WrestleMania. But WWE certainly is going to push LA Knight because they always listen to the fans and love an organic push. And speaking of organic push, LA Knight lost to Rey Mysterio, who will be taking on Santos Escobar, and the winner getting a shot at the United States title at SummerSlam. WWE is looking for its next big Latino star because there's no Selena Vega just laying around that everybody loves. So WWE is looking on building up one of the members of the LWO, hoping to cash in on that sweet, sweet Latino money. Now to AEW, and we all heard the uproar of the list of, quote, banned moves and things that AEW wrestlers cannot do. What if I told you this was leaked to try to make CM Punk look like a bad guy? Earlier, before the list was released, CM Punk had a talent-only meeting with wrestlers that are exclusive to the Collision brand. And in that meeting, he brought up several of these quote-unquote banned moves, talked about bleeding, and some other stuff. Now, CM Punk wants to set Collision apart from Dynamite and Rampage by giving it a different presentation and more of a sports-based feel. So he doesn't want to do a lot of these moves, and if he does, he would like them to look real. Well, someone thought that this would paint CM Punk in a horrible light. So he went ahead and released this entire list of banned moves, thinking this would get the entire wrestling community so upset they would want to attack the man who put these rules in place. Now, it ended up making sense to way more people than any of the people who leaked this thought, so it really didn't work. And also, it's starting to look like Collision is a lot different than Rampage or Dynamite. They're not playing a wrestler's music when he comes out to interrupt a promo. But those just aren't the facts. Those are the dirty facts. The Dirt Sheet News!
The Dirt Sheet News! All right, and this week it also was announced that Rick Steiner would be a participant of WrestleCon, and then immediately the internet backlash hit, and Rick Steiner got pulled. I mean, personally, I don't think he should have been announced from the get-go, regardless of, like, whatever. I mean, just the bullshit with the Shell Saw, like, I don't know. It's there's no zero tolerance for that shit, in my opinion. And especially if you're going to be that much of a dickhead about things, I'm sorry, but see you later, Rick Steiner. But on a positive note, it looks like one Prince Pretty himself, Tyler Breeze, will be making an in-ring return here in the very near future of the world of professional wrestling. It's been 2 years since he has wrestled, so excited to see him get back in the squared circle. Well, this is a little bit of a bummer, though. Bayley did suffer an injury earlier this week, and it looks like she may be out for extended period of time with a knee injury. I haven't really heard anything as far as like exactly what happened or how the period of time they're thinking, but hopefully we get Bayley back in the ring sooner than later and she does heal up. Well, it's the time of the show. Let's go to our good friend Brian for Brian's random moment of the week.
And back again for my random moment of the week here on PW60. And last week we looked at, in a top 5 format, about the G1 Climax, the 33rd edition going on right now in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I asked you for the 4 spots, first 4 spots being who you think would win each of the 4 blocks, and number 5 would be the overall winner. So now we're continuing back to the series about pro wrestling factions and building your ultimate version of each one. And 2 weeks ago, we talked about WCW and the Dungeon of Doom, and I was looking at some other factions I have listed, and then I got to thinking about one in WCW that could have been bigger and should have been bigger, Raven's Nest. And so what we're going to do is, there was about, I think I counted 11 members total. So for this one, we're going to build the ultimate version of the faction, and we're going to do 5. Like we've done, 2-1-2. So 2 long-term members, 1 short-term member, and 2 people who were never in the flock or nest for you to put in there. Now, little caveat. One of the full-time members has to be Raven. So you have Raven automatically, and then 1 other long-term member. Then pick a short-term member, and then 2 people who were never in Raven's Nest in WCW. Now, another caveat about this or any of these factions, when you put somebody in the faction that was not in whatever faction, whether it be 4 Horsemen, NWO, or Raven's Nest at this point, you don't have to stick with the company that it was in. So here you don't have to stick with just wrestlers in WCW at that time. It could be anybody from WWF, ECW from around that same period. So with that in mind, build your ultimate version of Raven's Nest in WCW. Spoiler alert, we'll probably cover Raven's Flock in ECW down the road, but for now, Raven's Nest, WCW, 2 long-term, and of course one of them has to be Raven, so pick one other long-term member, 1 short-term, and 2 people who were never in to have them join for your ultimate version of Raven's Nest. Hope you enjoy the rest of your PW60 episode and week. Have a good one.
Oh, Brian, always coming with them questions. We love you, Brian, and we love our Wrestle Talk creators. We got a special one this week. Not necessarily a Wrestle Talk creator. We actually got a pro wrestler as our creator of the week because he is putting out some fucking hilarious promos. Talking about one Matt Brannigan, who you can see in Black Label Pro Wrestling. Like, this stuff's hilarious. He just put out this video, like, with him, like, asking the Warlord to be his tag team partner, and it is just fucking hysterical. You got to see it. And thus, he is going to be our content creator of the week here on PW60. This is pretty awesome. Ian Riccaboni, it was announced, has signed a long-term deal with AEW. This man so freaking deserves it. One of the best announcers going today. I miss Kevin Kelly being on there, but I love hearing me some Ian Riccaboni on there. So maybe we can have a 3-man team there going forward once Kevin gets done with the G1. I love it. I'm for it, man. And I love me some Ian Riccaboni, and now he is officially All Elite for a long time. Well, this is interesting. Also, it was announced that Peacock will be airing a documentary on Cody Rhodes, American Nightmare, Becoming Cody Rhodes, which will air later this month over on Peacock.
I actually am really excited about this, but I will say this. I'm actually really excited about this, but we did it first.
That's right. We did it first, and then it got, well, never mind. We're not going there. But yes, we did it first. And finally, our last story this week, it does appear Nick Aldis is done with Impact Wrestling, but he left on great terms. But the interesting aspect of this, folks, is looks like WWE is interested in bringing Mr. Aldis in, but what the rumors we're hearing, as an agent, no. As great as an agent he would be, he's still in his prime. He is still a specimen in the ring, and I think, like, if they bring him in, he needs to be as a talent, not as a producer.
He fits WWE.
Oh yeah, he's the size, he's got the skill set, he's safe in the ring. Everything about Nick Aldis screams money. So hopefully he gets to the WWE and gets his fair shot. But that, Mr. B-Roll, we've finally come to the end here of Pro Wrestling 60. It's been another crazy week in the world of professional wrestling, and we've got plenty more still to come. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We thank you so much for joining us here tonight in the special live episode, and we will see you next week here on Pro Wrestling 60. Everybody have an awesome week.